So in order to make a portable solar generator, what you need is a UPS. You can get one of these from a recycler. They cost around $10. As you can see, this one is about 650 VA, 390 watts and a power factor of 1. And the beauty of it is it already has socket outlets at the back and the AC input port. And above everything else, it's aesthetically pleasing. Alternatively, you can get maybe one of these. These ones are a bit more recent. This one has got a power output of 600 watts, 1000 VA. And the battery input voltage is also 12 volts. So what you need is a simple UPS. Doesn't matter which one you find, but a UPS will do. You'll need a solar charge controller. For this video, we're going to be using the simplest one we can find. This one is rated at 12 volts, 10 amps, maximum PV voltage is 50, maximum PV input power is 130 watts, or 260 watts at 24 volts, but we're going to be using it at 12 volts. And batteries. So if you're going to generate power, you're going to need to store the energy generated. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that whatever UPS you got from your recycler is in full working condition. So I've already connected this battery to this unit, and these 650 VA UPSs from APC were required you to long press the on button for a few seconds, and after you hear a beep, the inverter turns on, like so. So that there is the indicator that the inverter is on. As you can see, 230 volts output. So that's a good thing. So our inverter is functional. The one thing I love the most about these types of UPSs is the inverter is a transformer based inverter, which means it's quite durable. Right, so the next challenge is figuring out how to mount the solar charge controller. So what we're going to do is, for simplicity's sake, to make this video as simple as possible, we're just going to mount it right on the face of the UPS. Why I chose the face is because that's where the battery terminals are located. So you can just simply use a screwdriver and some self-tapping screws. Should be fairly simple. So what we've done is we have mounted the charge controller onto the face of the UPS, and we've drilled a couple of holes here. This is where the battery terminals for the charge controller are. So we simply use the red and black cable, 2.5 millimeter. This is where the solar panels are connected, and this is where you can connect your solar lights if you have any. So because this unit doesn't exactly have a battery meter to show us the battery level, we're going to be relying on the solar charge controller to tell us how much energy or how much juice we have left in the battery. So these cables are now all the way out back, and we've insulated the battery so that it doesn't short circuit or ground with any other components in the build. So now we've got the battery, the UPS, and the charge controller all mounted in place. So now we're going to try to connect everything. We're going to try to connect everything and get the system up and running. So for me, I'm going to remove these push lugs which were used in the original UPS to connect batteries. I'm not using lead acid batteries, so I won't need those push lugs. However, if you decide to use a lead acid battery for this build, you might want to leave those on and make a makeshift connector. Right, so we're going to use this block connector to make sure that our connections are tight and secure. We're only going to use 2 terminals of the 3 available. Right, I might want to shorten these a bit. If you're into electrical and electronics engineering, you might also want to consider tinning these tips with the solder wire and the flux, it would improve your conductivity, right? So I'm going to use this as the positive terminal. So now we have the terminal up front. Now we have to put the battery back in. So be careful. If you don't have a lot of experience handling electricals and electronics, you might want to insulate these ends. Try by all means to avoid short circuits. Right, insulated both ends. I know some of you will be worried about fuses and security features. You don't have to worry about fuses. This here is the same UPS, but it's opened and dismantled. It already comes with two 40 amp fuses. So so once you get your battery back into the housing, where did I put those screws? And I'll put them here somewhere. Right. So now you might want to partially seal or close your UPS up. Just like that. So one screw at the top, one screw at the bottom. Alright, so in this case we have our battery up front, we have our inverter input up front, and we also have our expose the long sleeve. It could be a good idea to just twist these two like this, putting into consideration that is the same type of cable. Right, and there, shorten this a bit. There, tight and sealed. Now what's left is to connect the negative terminal. So we execute the same maneuver. Expose cables, twist them together. Approximate the correct length. Unscrew the negative terminal. Okay, there could be mini explosions. Okay, this is too long. I'm gonna back this one out a bit. Right, then you might wanna. Right, so now the charge controller is lit, it's on, everything has been connected. So now we have to somehow close everything up and go for a test run. So now you can use the charge controller to show you how much battery or how much juice you have left. And there, it's done, a portable solar generator. So to test everything, we're going to connect our solar panel and see if it charges. This is a 50-watt solar panel. So now as you can see, it's now charging. We've got 50 watts of PV input. You can use up to 100 watts or 150 watt solar panel. They will all work fine. So now the gizmo is on. There you go.